okay? And it was designed that way because I want us to talk a little bit about the liver first. So those of you who are familiar with Louise Hay, how many of you know that, okay? What do we know when there's an issue with the liver or an issue with digestion? What does it relate to? Anybody know? Anger and resentment. And what usually produces, or, yeah, I'm going to use the word what usually produces anger and resentment for people? What? People, that's exactly it, Lisa, that's right. Anger and resentment usually comes out of our relationship with other people. Ultimately, underneath it all, if we strip away the anger we think we're feeling towards the other person, we know that it's actually ourselves that we are angry with, right? For getting involved in that situation in the first place. And when you feel ready, just go ahead and open your eyes. So if we want our liver, and if we want our intestines, and if we want our gallbladders and our kidneys to work well, so yes, we want to eat well, boost our energy, and make it possible for us to digest everything we take in easily. Would you all say yes or yes to that? Yes? Okay, beautiful. So I'm just going to tell a little bit of a personal story about how it is that I came to be up here, and I'm going to be honest with you. If I could have avoided going through what I went through, I would have. And I'm not all that altruistic, everyone. I went through something, and in the middle of it, I said to God, all right, if you're not going to take me, then let me be a sacrifice here to be able to help other people, to not have to go through what I went through. And so what happened is, I had adrenal failure for 2 years and 3 months. Now when I say I had it, I'm not really sure that I'm completely over it. I'm so far much, much better. But it's a lifelong process of keeping our energy high. But I knew when I didn't have the power. Because I moved to Las Vegas in January of 2005 with my husband, shortly after my father passed away. My mother was here, my sister was here, and my sister was saying, would you please come and help with Mom? And so we came. But I was already very depleted myself before we came for a variety of reasons, physical, emotional, mental, that had been building up for years and years. I was with chiropractors, I was starting to change my diet, but I didn't really quite understand how important that was. And I had already given up on the conventional medicine. And truly, nothing was working. And I kept asking God, why? Why did this happen to me? All I wanted to do was be productive in my life. Why did this happen? I did my best to be a good person. Pay attention. I will write down everything I learned, and I will help others, because I have to believe that I'm not the only one in the world who's going through this. And God accepted that deal. And that's what happened. Shortly thereafter, I was introduced to therapeutic grade essential oils, and that's not exactly what my topic is about today, but if you come over to our table, I would love to share the oils with you that brought me back within 3 days to have enough energy to then be able to do the internal work that I had to do emotionally and mentally. And that was where I realized I had sold out on myself so many times. As somebody who was a good person, feeling like it was my job to take care of so many other people, right? Take care of yourself later, serve the world now. How many of you have heard that and bought into it at some point in your life? Anybody? Right. It's unsustainable. I'm just going to say that. I don't know anybody who has done that for any length of time and been able to sustain it. And what I now know is that I was really giving the worst of myself to the world and not the best of myself. So I completely shifted that. And in my book, GUD, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a little bit, I give 11 ways that God showed me how to shift my approach and build my own energy up first, quickly and easily, so that I could give the best of myself to the world. One of the energy surges that I call my tips, because they help us boost our vibration,